Today we're going to be replacing all the belts on a YardBug. Cute little thing. First thing I'm going to do is jack it up and back here, as you can see. Also, now would be a good time to lower the deck to its lowest position. We're gonna have to start removing pulleys, and the first pulley I'm gonna break loose is the main engine pulley, which is this one here. I use this to do that. It's just much easier to get that thing out of there. So the next pulley I'm going to remove after I remove the main engine pulley over there is this one here that I have my hand on. See that? Just take that right off. Not the next pulley I'm going to take off is going to be this one right here. And you can see that's the nut for it right there. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So this is loosened up under here now. Everything just drops right out. Now when you take things apart here, you want to make sure that you replace any, well, not replace, but put back in the spot where they're supposed to be any washers, etc., etc. So keep a close eye on that. So now I should just be able to pull that belt right off that pulley one way or another here. There we go. So while under here, you know, you'll always want to check the condition of the pulleys. This one seems to be in good shape. This idler pulley here seems to be in good shape. We're looking good here. I checked the bearings in these things. It's always a good idea to do that. So now you can just pull this pulley towards you and get the belt off of it, or yank it off like that. Alright, so this one now comes off pretty easily. Just goes up over the top of this one, and out she comes. Engine pulley off. Everything should just come apart. Hopefully it's loosened up. I don't want to have to bang on it. But I will. Yeah, I'm basically just up in here like this with my hammer, banging on it, and I can see it moving slightly each time, so you can check it. I'm getting some movement out of it. I'm actually hitting it back up and pushing it down here, which you can watch. I'm going to make sure the belt on top is off of this pulley, but eventually I'll work it free and it should just slide right off the shaft. Eventually it's coming off just by maneuvering some of these belts around a little bit. Sliding right off. There we go. Alright. Belt's in pretty bad shape. So here we are. Both the belts are removed back here. And the only belt left is the deck belt right there, which we can worry about that after we get everything else assembled. So let's go ahead and do this. I only had to remove 2 pulleys to get those 2 belts off. Actually 3 pulleys, because there's the engine pulley there. 2 of these belts are actually the same, and then we have the deck belt. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up around that. Looks like the main transmission pulley there. Wrap it around there, and then pull this pulley and wrap the belt around there. I'm going to do that. Took me about 20 seconds. Alright, I'm going to reinstall that variable speed pulley now. Alright, so after some trial and error, I learned the trick here. You want to put on the transmission belt first, and then the transmission belt goes to this idler pulley, and it actually goes down to the lower pulley. But before you attach that, you have to put this other belt up above. So stick this one up in there. All the way up to the top pulley. Then you put this belt on, the belt that's attached to the transmission. It works to leave this variable speed pulley kind of loose while you're assembling all this. Just kind of helps get the belts into place easier. Okay, so I attached the belt to the top engine pulley. Got it in place. And as you can see, the belt that goes from the engine pulley goes to the top variable speed pulley. And the bottom part of the variable speed pulley goes to the transmission, which also will go through an idler gear over here that we have yet to attach it to. So this is how we do this. So this is what that belt should look like once it's back in place. Make sure you get it on the inside of this tab here, otherwise you'll tear that belt apart. Alright, near as I can tell, everything is back together the way it's supposed to be, other than this blade belt, which I'll talk about here in a second. Time to tighten up all these pulleys. I always like to do one last check, just to make sure all the belts are inside their belt keepers and all that stuff. And I've verified this. It all looks like we're ready to test this baby out. On to the deck belt, which looks like it may be fairly easy. So we have a bolt here, here, and here to remove this cover. Simple. And it looks like I just need to remove this idler pulley here to get the belt off. Make sure when you take this off, you keep everything in the same place. A little washer on here, probably a washer on the bottom as well. Goes on top of the cable there, down to the engine pulley. Just pull it on to the pulley from there. But make sure you get the belt on the inside of both belt guards here, belt keepers. You want them on the inside, otherwise you'll have big troubles. So this is really important. This piece right here also has a belt keeper, so you want to make sure that the belt ends up on the inside of this keeper. Very important. Make sure your belts are on the right side of all the keepers. There's one here, and there's one here.